What you can do and what it looks like when you come out the other end from the winter. So now we're going to talk about how to do the soil mix for our blocking. And Fran, I'm going to ask you to please read those things out and I will get them for us to the table.
Okay, nutrient mix equals green sand and rock phosphate.
These are very cool things.
Okay, peat moss.
Peat moss is yonder.
Sifted compost.
Which we're going to use some of this black hen and some of this potting soil mix. I'm just going to have to use that for this.
And water.
And water. Okie dokie. So now this is all natural dry fertilizer that I would put on our garden to get the bulbs going. This does not go into the mix. I just want you to see what it looks like.
Where'd you get it?
Composition of fertilizer.
This one, one thing I do want you all to know is that I spoke with Lynn Dillard, Dr. Lynn Dillard at Scotland Yard. She is now stocking, I believe she got in the seaweed meal. This is a big deal for us. She's just gotten them in. She's also getting the rock phosphate blocking nutrient. I've got that. I need to get that out for us. And she's getting the green sand. So that's all really important stuff.
What's in green sand?
Green sand is a very rich sand that has organic nutrients in it, like sea salt.
Who was that?
Scotland Yard she's stocking it for our classes. So I go straight there and thank her for bringing them.
Where else would you imagine it would be sold?
I had a great deal of trouble buying it. You can get it like I do from Gardener's Workshop, and it's already packed into the nutrient mix. So I kind of like that because, you know, she said you can make 600 little squares out of that. So that's what we're going to use today because I think that might hold us over, right? So in this one, we have, so this inside of it, it has green sand and rock phosphate. And so we're going to use, that's what's in here, this little bag. And I'll show you what it looks like. This is, isn't that cool? It's just nothing but looks like dirt. Thank you for your questions. This is my very expensive beaker. I'm going to have to get one that's not so precious. Isn't that cool? Rock phosphate and green sand is what is in this blocking mix. I have lots of little bags of this if you want to buy them. And the price is on the bottom of them and they're in the tent. They're expensive, at least you can get it. And then also you can buy the ingredients, more of it over at Scotland Yard. This has an ingredient, they're $6 a bag. You use 16 cups of sifted peat moss or cocoa fiber. That brings us to what is cocoa fiber. This is an amazing thing. I love this stuff. This, I'll show you the raw, this was a block. Isn't it funny? This was a very square pressed block. It's cocoa fiber. It is a natural product. It's sustainable. Very, very good for growing little baby plants in. You can see, look at how fibrous that is. Isn't that perfect? We love this stuff. Okay, that's good stuff. So I'm just going to crumble it up. I put about that much water in here. I might have put too much water in. We're not going to worry about that because you can. It will quickly soak it up. So I've got this down in here, and it is cold because it's cold out. And now see it's broken out, but it's a hard pressed block, and I have about 4 of them up in the shed. I like this because it is a sustainable product, but cocoa trees don't grow here, neither does peat. So you've got your choice. This is peat moss that I need to cut open to get into here. And let's see, Virginia, would you mind, there's a saber saw right inside the tent. Oh, you've got the scissors, it's even better. You are so prepared, thank you. So now, I'm going to put all of this here on the ground because I'm going to use this bin as my mixing container. Now there is some problems with getting peat moss because it's not, I mean, there's some theories about is it sustainable, is it not? It takes, a long time for Mother Nature to make peat moss. Cocoa fiber you make right away, right from the coconuts. So I got this because I thought I'd see the difference, and over time I think I'm going to completely switch to the cocoa fiber. But we'll see. So now, I need, if someone could go to the greenhouse and fill up 2 of those buckets with some water in the hose. We just ran our water to the greenhouse. That's pretty cool. Great. So here, see, that's our other choice, is something that looks like this. Cool. There we are. Now, I'm going to read the recipe from the back of my little thing, and it says to get, let me get the 16 cups of sifted peat moss or cocoa fiber. We're going to use cocoa fiber for this one. I'm going to pour this back in, because I want to use this for my cup. So this is 4 cups, goes up to here, just like cooking. And
It's like
read the back of this again.
Julia Child's Outdoors.
So I want basically four containers of this is going into here. So, and believe it or not, I think it's that whole block. It's going to be 14. So I'm really breaking that block up really well, because they say sift it. We know this is sifted, because it's made for this kind of stuff. So I'm packing that, packed it in, and that makes that's 4 cups, right? And what you're going for is a good consistency. This is really a great consistency. There's another, that's number 2.
Getting the sun.
And as predicted, that
Everybody's
block
standing in the sun.
is 4
I
cups.
need to get over there.
And now we've tested the system. 1 block makes 16 actually, cups of this, but 4 of these scoops. So that's good. Now if I wanted to double the dose, which I'm not going to do right now, I could easily do so. And it's said to add the cups of water. 6 to 9 cups of water. We don't, thank you. Very nice. Thank you, Vanna. So now, I'm just going to add 4 cups, because this is already pretty moist, because we already soaked that thing. I know it's cold, y'all. And now, the next thing we're going to put in there is the compost, which I'm going to use. This is not exactly totally PC, but it's good for us. I got this at Scotland Yard. I happen to love it. It comes in great big bags. It has perlite in it. So it's good for, and it also has peat moss. So it's not true sifted compost, believe me. We just don't happen to have it ready for us. But we can use this. And the instructions say to put 4 cups of this. So that's that. There's that. Now I'm going to put this whole, it says a half a cup of blocking nutrient. You don't pour the whole thing in it. That's good to know, isn't it? Always read the instructions. That's a half a cup, it's not that much. And we pour that in. I think I'm going to end up doubling this batch. And I would love a small trowel or something from in there too. Thank you. Now all I'm going to do is, did you remember in the film we just watched, she had, it was really moist, remember? It was almost like mud. It is mud, just a different kind of mud. So I'm gonna, this is my ancient garden weight card. Isn't that a wonderful thing? Yeah. It squeaks and everything. So I'm gonna swoosh all this back here. Swoosh is a good term for what we're doing.
I remember I said that I was talking with a client and a landscape contractor, and I said, oh, you just swoosh it around. They said, is that a word? I said, it is to me.
And you know what? I think I'm going to double this recipe for 2 reasons. I actually had more water in here than I realized. even though now I've mixed it up some. And so I'm going to mix this time the peat moss in with it. I'm just going to double the recipe. It's that easy, right? So I'm going to put another ½ cup of the blocking nutrient. It's not terrible. You want to come look at it? No, it's actually the nutrient. It's the rock phosphate and green sand. Really important stuff to have. And then I'm going to get those 16 cups of this, which I would say that looks almost like this much. That's 4 cups. There's another 4. Sorry.
Yeah, time for another glass of wine.
There's another 4 cups. This is not an exact science. Just double check we haven't left anything out. The water, soaking it up, the compost. We need to always reread your recipe. Sifting means remove any of the big bulky things. Now I really wish we had the real compost to do this with. That was 4. How many cups did we need for this?
4 cups.
Done. That was probably enough, but I'm going to put a little more in just for fun. There we go. Now I'm going to get my mix master going again. Already looking a little better. I'm going to have to add some water to it, just like a cake mix.
Want some more water?
You know, if you tell them about when we get the potting soil from the nurseries, how different it looks from this.
You know, when we do our little gardening inside, we buy bags of potting soil, and we never know what we're getting when you buy it from a garden center. They all have their own brands, and it comes from almost all bark to just. We never have gotten it right yet. I mean, it works. You can grow anything in just almost bark, but it just I'd rather have stuff that's not so chunky because I feel like the roots need to get down. It's more about the roots going down rather than the other stuff.
Okay. Oh yes, like
But
Add some more water.
and I don't know what the answer to that is, but when I do, I'll let you know because it's really Well, I think the one time I bought some in South Carolina, and the fella at the garden center told me that was they got it out in California or something like I don't know, it's really rich, so like something like earthworms or frogs or something in there, and all the marijuana growers use that particular kind, and so you know if they're doing it for marijuana, it's got to be good, and it was really very healthy and very nice texture.
Now I'm going to add the final ingredient, which is a sack of worm castings. This helps your compost. So here goes. Worm castings, which we're also making over there in the vermiculture bed. So we're going to mix it up. I added another 4 cups of water, and we've got the perfect texture. You know it when you feel it. How many of y'all make bread? You can tell when the dough is ready. Take out any sticks. This should make the little baby plants jump out of the ground. Okay, folks, you see why we did this out here instead of under the tent. We're heading yonder to the tent now. Let's go.
Hope it's heated.
So if you can turn that off, thanks.